Hi loves, welcome back to our channel. This is Jerry from Dreamy Craft Shop, and in today's video I'll be comparing these two Switch gaming controllers. This one is the official Nintendo Switch Pro controller, and this is the Lite brand kitty controller. The Switch Pro controller costs about $80 and the Lite kitty controller is only about $30. So I would say that's one of the biggest difference because it's about a $40 difference, so that's pretty big if you're on a budget or if you know that matters to you. Aside from that, even though this one's a lot cheaper, the Pro is actually a lot more available, I feel like, because this one you could get in store and you can get same day if you needed a controller that day, whereas this one you would have to order online and wait for it to arrive. However, like I said, it's available on Amazon and it is available through Amazon Prime. So if you had the Prime membership, you could get it in about 2 days, I believe. Now this one, even though it's available in store, I know that there have been shortages lately of Switch devices and Switch accessories. So it's kind of hard to find online, but I was able to find mine at a local Target. So what you can do is check your Walmart or Target or Kmart or whatever is by you, and you can either call or check online to see if they have stock that's available in store, because I've been noticing that a lot of these stores will have stock available in store, but you can't order online or online pickup. You have to go in person, so that's where you might want to call just to verify that they do have the stock, and then you'll be able to pick it up in person. So that's just a little bit tricky. Now, as far as the kitty controller, I have noticed that it sells out once in a while. Like after I did the initial video on this one, it sold out right away, but it does come back in stock. And I know that a few people said that they went and got it on AliExpress because it is also available on AliExpress, but personally I wouldn't recommend that, only because mail from AliExpress is coming from China, and so it takes a long time to get here. Especially right now during the pandemic, it's been taking like 2 to 3 months to get mail from AliExpress. So I would suggest just waiting a week or so and just waiting to see if they'll restock on Amazon before going to AliExpress to get it. Also, I completely forgot to mention, but if you're not familiar with either of these controllers, or you're interested in how I got this one to look this way or anything like that, I have a full video on this Switch Pro controller, unboxing it and putting this skin and thumb grips and stuff on it, and this case. And I also have a video on unboxing this kitty controller and connecting it to my Switch Lite and my regular Switch and giving you a little review about it. So if you want to check that out, you can go check those videos now or before, or even after this. You don't have to have seen it before this video. Anyway, moving on, the next biggest difference that I would notice between these two is the size. I don't know if it's obvious on screen, but this Switch Pro controller is a lot bigger. It's not too big of a difference for me personally because I have small hands, so I feel like this kitty controller is really comfortable for me, even for extended amounts of time. And my husband has a lot bigger hands than me, and I've had him try this kitty controller, and he also feels that it's comfortable. He hasn't used it for a long time, but it is comfortable and it is usable, and you can definitely use it if you have larger hands. But this Switch Pro controller is going to be more comfortable if you do have larger hands and you're trying to play for longer periods of time. Then I would suggest this bigger one. Otherwise, I mean, for me personally, they're both just as comfortable. Another difference that might be important to you or not is that this Pro controller is a lot more customizable, and because it's an official Nintendo device, you're gonna find a lot more accessories and a lot more things that you can do with it. For instance, I mean, I have this clear hard case. You can switch the skin, put skins on it, like I did this one, and match it with your, like this one matches with my Switch, and I like that. You wouldn't be able to do that with the kitty controller because since it's not a big brand and it's not very popular, you're not going to find skins or accessories for it. Also, with the Pro controller, there's a lot of brands that sell replacement shell housing. So if you wanted to replace all the housing and make it different colors, or replace the buttons, replace the joysticks, you could do something like that, whereas there aren't replacement bits for the kitty controller. However, the kitty controller is already cute, so it's like you don't need to change it much. And it comes in other colors. If pink isn't your thing, it comes like in blue, green, all black, other pastel color schemes. So again, like, it's cheap enough that you could buy a couple if you wanted, or you could buy the color that you like. You wouldn't have to customize it because this one, I believe, only comes in black. So those are most of the more obvious differences between them. We can get into more technical details now. This one, the Pro controller, it takes 5 to 6 hours to get a full charge, whereas the Kitty controller only needs 3 hours to get a full charge. However, the Pro controller will last 40 hours of gameplay with those 5 to 6 hours, whereas the Kitty controller, even though it only takes 3 hours to charge, it will only last for 8 hours of gameplay. So that's up to you, whether you know that you play for more than 8 hours or not, or if you're someone that doesn't play for more than 8 hours, you only play a couple of hours a day or less, then maybe you wouldn't mind that the Kitty controller only lasts for 8 hours of gameplay, because you can charge it overnight or in between playing. But if you know that you're going to be playing for hours, or you're going to be playing all day, then I would suggest the Pro controller, because you wouldn't have to charge it halfway through the day. Another thing is they both have use the same charger, which is the same plug-in for the actual Switch and the Switch Lite. However, I would not recommend using a different charger for any of these. Like, I would only use the charger that came with each device. So if you have your charger for your Switch Lite, I wouldn't use that to charge your controller. I would only use the charger that came with each device, because you never know how powerful the charger is, or how powerful the device itself needs to be charged, and you don't want to ruin anything. So just only, even though they're all the same charger cable in a way, I would just use what came with the actual device. Another thing that I've noticed is that on this one, the Pro controller, since it's bigger, it has more room for the joysticks or analog sticks, so you get more travel room, which ends up making your gameplay smoother. Another thing to note though is that with this hard case on, I don't know if you can tell, but it kind of puts like plastic around where the joystick is, so it doesn't allow for as much travel as you could get without the case on. This one isn't bad. It still feels really smooth to me, but since they're smaller, they don't have as much travel. I would compare it to just using the analog sticks on your Lite, or the analog sticks on the Joy-Cons on your regular Switch. It would feel the same as these. These would just be a little more smoother, and you'd have more control over your movements. Another thing to notice is the triggers in the back. Both of these are similar, where I'm not sure how to explain it, or if I'm explaining it right, so hopefully you guys understand. But with these, they're not like an Xbox or a PlayStation controller where they're like taller and you push it in more slowly, so you have more control, like kind of if you're playing a car game, or you would be able to control the throttle and stuff. But these are just one click, which is kind of cool for shooting games or for other type of games. But I just thought I should mention that it's like a one click, kind of like if you have like a stopper. As far as connection, they're both Bluetooth, and they both connect wirelessly to your device. Both will connect to your Switch Lite and your regular Switch. They both connect it the exact same way, very easily. You can view more info about that in the unboxing video of this Kitty controller if you want to see how easy it was to connect and how it felt in a little bit of gameplay. You can refer to that video. At the end of the day, I would say that I really love both of these controllers. I think they're both good buys. I think you're going to be happy with either one. If you're having trouble picking, hopefully some of the points that I highlighted will help you decide which controller is best for you. Because I honestly feel like they're both good controllers. They're just, better for different things. So, another thing is that this Pro controller, I just thought of, sorry. This Pro controller, there are actually a lot of carrying cases for it, so if you didn't want to damage it, or you're kind of scared of how you're going to carry it around, there's a lot of carrying and traveling cases for this one. And I actually recently got a new Animal Crossing one, so if you guys want to see that, let me know and I can do a video about a few Animal Crossing accessories that I got lately. This one doesn't have a carrying case, but it's pretty light, so it's pretty lightweight, and you won't be able to put a skin or anything on it, so I'm not too scared of damaging it. Another thing is that since this one is so lightweight, you might want to use this one more for travel, only because it's going to be easy to carry. You can just throw it in your bag. But if you're traveling, like I know some people travel cross state, or they'll travel for a long time, then I would suggest maybe this one. Or if you're going on a super long flight, like I know the flight that I took to Japan was like 11 hours one way, so if you were going to use it the whole time, this probably wouldn't have lasted, whereas this one would have. Another thing that I want to talk about is the thumb grips. The thumb grips are different. On this one, you're going to use the same thumb grips that you would use on your Switch Lite device or on your Switch. And on this one, you would use grips that you use for an Xbox or a PlayStation. And I think they actually make specific grips. If you looked it up on Amazon or Google, if you search specifically for Switch Pro grips, you'll be able to find them. Because in my last video, if you watched, I did try to put the regular Switch sized grips on this one and it didn't work. So that's one thing, you would have to buy different grips specifically for this one, unless you already had Switch grips aside like I did, then you can just put them on this one. So I mean, again, in conclusion, I think both are great controllers. I love them both. I would recommend either of these to you. And if you're having trouble deciding which one you want to get, hopefully this video helped you pick, and some of the highlights that I mentioned were good enough to help you decide what it is that you want. If this video did help you pick, please let us know below. Comment which one you think would be best for you, which one you would get. Let us know any questions that you have. Maybe I didn't answer everything here. I'll definitely answer in the comment section if you have any questions. Again, thank you guys so much for watching our videos. Thank you for all of your support. If you have time, please like this video, comment, subscribe, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.